Goddamn corrupt politicians. I just did the video on Epstein, and now different topic, same shit probably. Corrupt politicians. Leave the farmers alone, man. Just leave them the fuck alone, bro. What did they do? They built. They are the cornerstone of our society. So if you rag pull them, we all go up in smoke. I just think it's hella disrespectful for people to undervalue and underestimate the value of the farmers. It's actually wild. It's actually wild. So not gonna lose any time. Like, comment, and subscribe. And let's get into the video. Turn on notifications. We all gotta say. We all gotta do it. So either I'm getting better with my videos, or like the intro's getting shorter. But I'm trying to find my place with how long the video is gonna take, how quick I am into getting into the topic, because it's important. I honestly want to find some, you know, remember, do you guys remember the protest from farmers in like 2021? I think it was during COVID. Like, I could be so wrong. I could be lying my ass off to you guys. I'm sorry. There was like a protest like a few years back, and man, I was the way what the farmers did, man. They blocked everything. They had my respect. Not big fan of France, but those French people, they had my respect. They're like the ever living respect. You are the cornerstone of the society, bro. And I think I wanna see. Let's go with that one. Because that video, I don't know how accurate that one is, man. Because look at this. Honestly, I love New York, but I'm not a big fan. I'm not a trustworthy adversary when it comes to news outside of the U.S. being reported by the U.S. I mean, like, U.S. citizens probably don't even realize how big that is, but for them, U.S. For them, the center of the universe, like the world, is U.S. There's nothing else. So I'm not a big fan if, like, yeah, New York Post is giving us information about like European shit. So let's see what France 24 English has to say. I think that's,
farmers, many of them French,
yeah, UK went downhill as well. So never mind, bro.
are filling up stories
Yeah,
today. Farmers, many of them French, are filling the streets of Brussels to voice their opposition to the signing of an historic
I always admire people when they go out and protest. I I actually do. I've been to one in my life, and I think like every government, there was nothing being done in the history of humanity. There was no incident or no occasion where something was being changed for the people with friendly maneuvers. It needs to be bloody. It needs to be overthrown. It needs to be chaotic. It needs to really feel like hell on earth. To overthrow something, to generate pressure, you gotta be willing to go to the end. You gotta be willing. And I'm so glad like some of the people are like here for us to do it. Because if so many people wouldn't, if nobody would do it, then we all sheeps. And I need to go out more to demos. Like if they're really like against something good ones. Not just any stupid demonstration. That's There's so much brain rot out there. But when it comes to our freedom, our ability to choose, and our ability to work, move freely, and whatsoever, then I'm like the first to
EU
be on the front line.
Brussels to voice their opposition to the signing of an historic EU-Mercosur agreement. Now, if inked, the deal would create the world's largest free trade area, 450 million consumers in Europe and 270 million in South America.
Wow.
Details are being discussed.
Look, everybody's going out, and I respect that, bro.
A European summit in Brussels today, and the EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen is supposed to fly to Brazil this weekend to sign the deal, but those in the streets in Brussels are firmly opposed. They fear being undercut by cheaper products from South America. And
oh my God, it's you guys don't even realize how that's not good, bro. Support the local businesses. Just support it, man. You can't be doing that. You just can't be doing that. That's like, we have local farmers. They help build those conglomerates as they are today. They help build them. But now it's all about profit. Those farmers are way too expensive. The executives at the board, they want something cheaper. You know, we gotta have budget cuts. We gotta have more money at the end of the year in our pockets. We gotta make up for the lost revenue. We gotta spike the ROI. We gotta do all of that just because fuck morality and fuck ethnics. And I can't stand it, bro. Everybody should voice their opinion, and I'm so glad those farmers are doing it.
Suggesting a potential delay to that signing, President Emmanuel Macron has made it clear that he stands with the protesters.
For real? For real?
Macron is suggesting, but those in the streets in Brussels are firmly opposed. They fear being undercut by cheaper products from South America.
Fair.
And today, suggesting a potential delay to that signing, President Emmanuel Macron has made it clear that he stands with the protesters.
Even though you got like a man boy as a wife, man, I respect that. Damn. All right. Good on him. Good on him. But what's his angle?
I want to say here to our farmers who are protesting that France's position has been clear from the start. On Mercosur, we believe the terms aren't acceptable and this agreement cannot be signed. And it's the same across the board. It's Europe being consistent, and it's a Europe that protects its agriculture and its producers.
Can't believe that I hear something rational and logical out of his mouth. God damn. I'm baffled. I'm baffled. That video's been like, we've watched a quarter of the video. I'm baffled. Not bad. But, alright, let's keep.
Well, our Europe editor, Armen Georgian, is outside the summit for us today, where protesters are clashing with police. Armen, look, good to speak to you. Can you give us a sense of the atmosphere where you are and what it is you've witnessed today?
Man, he looks absolutely done. Get him out of there, bro. He looks so done.
Yeah, it's still pretty tense, Nadi. You can probably hear the helicopters above. There's still a massive protest going on in Place Luxembourg, which is about 100 meters off to my right, with some firecrackers coming off into the side streets, including where I'm standing. There was another one there. You can see heavy police presence behind me. banners and tractors, banners saying no farmers, no food, and stop the madness. And also this, a handsome Dutch potato that is being thrown at police here as well. And it's a very multinational
Go farmers, let's go.
Protest here as well. We've seen farmers from all kinds of countries, Spain, Italy, Denmark. There were people just walking past with a Danish flag. So they're really keen to show that this is a pan-European protest. It's not only about Mercosur, by the way, but also the proposed cuts in the Common Agricultural Policy budget that could be enacted under the next EU's long-term budget, a cut of 20% and maybe even more than
20%, boys. Can you imagine that? Still on Bill Gates. Still on the other one. I mean, like, if it's getting violent, it got to be. I'm not the one saying, man, don't be violent. We gotta have peaceful protests. No, if it's about your livelihood, bro, go in with the knife. Go in with the knife. I mean, like, all in. Just go in all in. You gotta be willing to defend everything. That's what I mean with go in with the knife. Like, you gotta be willing to drag it to the end. Because if their livelihood is compromised and like politicians and like executives just want to save money and do better deals, like yeah, but people don't realize how serious the situation really is. Sure, there's some. God damn, bro. God damn. Oh, there's so much stuff. Which let's
when you factor in inflation, which they say here is going to have a very destructive impact on farming across the EU.
Okay, so quite a bit of anger where you are, Armen, outside of the EU building. Give us a sense, though, of what's happening inside. I know you've been in the EU Commission today. What do you think the chances are of getting this Mercosur deal finally signed?
Well, it seems that the efforts to agree Mercosur have really slowed down for several reasons. We've had, once again, President Macron this morning reiterating his call for a delay. Very importantly, Italy has now joined the no camp and also wants a delay. There are different schools of thought on why is Italy
just you gotta be willing to do everything. And they are. It's working. It's working. And I'm glad for these people, man. I actually am.
genuinely opposed to Mercosur, or is it positioning to get some kind of concessions elsewhere under the EU budget?
Oh, I love it. I love it. Find me that dude.
That's one theory that's going around here in Brussels today. But the bottom line is that if you add up the countries that are opposed to a Mercosur deal being signed now, they do appear to have a block.
Can't tell me that you think that's bad what he's doing. Can't tell me. You need that. You need to like scare them straight. You send children to jails so they can think about their consequences and stuff. So yeah.
A blocking minority to stop this going through. We've also just heard, Nadia, in the last couple of hours, the President of the European Parliament, Roberta Metsola, reminding everybody that all of this still has to be ratified by the European Parliament in a plenary vote in February. So it seems like there's going to be a long road ahead. Personally, I'm pretty skeptical that President von der Leyen of the European Commission and Antonio Costa, head of the Council, are going to fly to Brazil and sign all of this on December the 20th. I don't really sense the wind blowing in that direction right now.
Yeah, and we'll see how that turns out. But I'm actually glad that they're doing it. Oh, you cannot tell me. It's getting out of hand, and they're blocking everything with their farmer gear. I love it. I love it. They just get so creative. Like last time, they were like spraying all that dirt with it. Like I really forgot the word now. Never mind. Yeah, just that like that fluid dry shit that they use to water the crops and the fields. They were spraying that stuff all at the walls of public and of politician buildings, and like they were getting so creative. I thought it was funny. Yeah, there's some unnecessary stuff, definitely. But man, like I said, and I stand to that belief to the end. You gotta do what it takes, otherwise you're not willing to really get it. With that being said, I'm out. See you guys.